What's going on, good people? We're a little bit behind. Appreciate y'all being patient with us as we got things worked out for the night. But it's your boy Cool McCain, along with this guy over here, my man Wise. What's good, Wise?
What's going on, brother? What's going on? How's everything?
It's always good, man. It's always good. I woke up this morning,
That's
breathing.
that's the
Always
best
good.
part.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, we're not gonna even go that long tonight. We at the end of the season. You know, the
Yeah.
major matchup is between my squad and this gentleman's squad. And then we do have another
Yes.
matchup we'll briefly touch on. But before we do that,
Those matchups don't really matter. The
yeah,
matchup that matters is the Eagles and Giants game. It has some very big implications for not for us because we're locked into the 6th seed regardless. So we can either lay down and let the Eagles win, which I don't think we're gonna do, because we do remember that ass whipping we got just a few weeks ago.
yeah, that's why it was a
So
bad thing. That's
yeah,
exactly what
so
it was about.
I'm thinking the Giants want to come out and make a statement. That's just me.
I feel you, man. But before we get into it, we're gonna quickly shoot this intro, and then we're gonna get back right into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Man, I always like to hit the shout out to that guy,
Yeah,
the mad genius himself.
to the mad scientist himself, Cole
Yes, sir.
Johnson, for that dope intro. And listen, he's just the magic man when it comes to intros, man.
Yeah, he's sick with it, man. He's very sick with it. But yeah, man, you made some great points before we went to the intro.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have to agree with you. Here's my thought. And I'll say this because I thought we were going to be here, right? I thought our situations were going to be reversed,
Different.
or
You thought it was
or
gonna be
we were
different.
neither one of us have anything to play for. So my thought was, we got everything wrapped up. You would sit your guys, your key guys that you don't want to get hurt. Not saying like you lay down and don't try to win the game, but you would sit your key guys that you don't want to get hurt. In your case, that would be
Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
Right. We do have confirmation that we do have Gardner Johnson that should be playing, as well as Robert Quinn, and QB1 himself will be out there on the field. So I think if I were you guys, and I'm not saying this because I want to win the game, but if I were you guys, nothing to play for, I would not have those guys playing this game. If you can win without them, I would still try to win, but I would sit them just for the simple fact you don't want to go out there and have anything happen to the two pieces that you need to try to make a run. That's just me, right?
Oh, listen, I agree with you, but I also feel that we don't want to stop the momentum. Like, we don't want to. This is like a playoff game if you think about it. I'm saying this is atmosphere is, for at least for you guys, it's a playoff game because this determines if you're the number 1 seed or not. This determines if you're going to if the road leads to San Francisco, or if Dallas wins the division, which none of us wants.
Right. So the thing is, I mean, I feel what you're saying, but I'm extremely more confident that we have a opportunity to win the game with Jalen Hurts playing, because Gardner Minshew, and I've said this on other shows this week and last week as well, it's not that he's a bad quarterback, right? But he's not the right quarterback for the system that we run, and they didn't change it for him. You basically took an immobile quarterback, a guy, he has a little bit of movement, but a mobile guy for the most part, and you ask him to run an RPO offense. That is not intelligent whatsoever. So that's why he looked so bad in the system. And I'm not excusing the mistakes. I'm just saying you put him in the system that doesn't work with what he does best. And you expected him to play just like Jalen Hurts. And that wasn't possible. So my thing is, I think when you put Jalen Hurts back in the offense, we're going to see the offense run smoother. It's going to run better. And I'm not saying we're going to go out there and do what we did last time, because I think that would be unnecessary. But just try to win the game, right? Maybe Hurts only needs to play a half for us to get a couple of touchdowns and see if we can win the game. Just handing the ball off, and defense holding up the rest of the game. I don't know what the game plan will be, because you never know. It depends on how these guys feel from minute to minute within the game. Not even day to day, not even half to half, maybe even quarter to quarter. Being nice, but it's crazy, man. But from you guys' perspective, you have a lot to play for. The
only thing we really have to play for is some pride, man. That's what I think. We just have to play. We don't, like I said, we locked in the 6th seed. We're gonna play whoever we're gonna play. So for me, it's, do we really want to play these players and show everybody that we're for real? Or we just want to let Tyrod Taylor and Breda lead the offense attack? Because we know what Wink is going to do with the defense. He's gonna bring them. But I feel like they should rest them. Part of me don't want them to get rested, because I want them to get the reps. They need as much reps as possible, man. They're still in the first year under Brian Dable. They still got a lot to learn. This would have been easier had y'all just started Jalen Hurts against New Orleans.
Who you telling? Who you telling? Because personally, I believe he could have started against the Cowboys or New Orleans. I felt like the
I would have listened. Now, you know what? I would have not played him against Dallas, right? Because Micah Parsons and everything. And just started him in New Orleans, get that W, and then y'all could have just chilled this week. Y'all would have had 2 weeks off. Hurts would have had 2 weeks off chilling.
Well, 3.
3, yes.
Yeah. Because if we win, we don't have a first-round game. But the thing is, I think he could have played against Dallas or New Orleans. I understand with Dallas just because you want to just give it an extra week and see if you can win without him. But once you lost that game, should have been in last week, because the fact of the matter is he said he wanted to play. He said he could play. The coaches was like, oh, he's questionable, blah, blah, blah. And then later on in the week, which I feel like means they talk to him and say, look, man, you could play, but there's still enough there where we can say you should sit out. So we're going to sit you. Right. And if you looked at him on the sideline, the faces that he was making was not the faces of a guy who couldn't play. The faces he was made with the faces of a guy who should have been out there. And he's like, I should have been out there with my guys, and we wouldn't even be in this situation we're going to be in next week. But these clowns told me not to play. So, coaching is a big part of it. And not just for this game, but even going into the playoffs. And I feel like a lot of times these coaches, they err either too much on the side of caution or not enough on the side of caution. I think we've erred too much on the side of caution because we thought we had a guy who could go in and run Jalen Hurts' offense. I don't know why we thought that, but that's what we thought. So I think that now that the situation is where it's at, you've got to play your starters. You've got to try to get a signature win. And you got a lot of guys that are coming back that came back in the last 2-3 weeks that really need to get some reps, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how we go out there and how we play. Some other people that are not fans of either our team, but, have their 2 cents that they want to put in, have talked about like, oh, they're probably going to play their starters, but then if the game gets out of hand, they'll probably pull them. And my response to this is then just don't play them. Like unless you have a plan to say we're going to play them a quarter, we're going to play them a half, then we're going to pull them. I don't understand the thought of putting you guys in to play a quarter, a half, whatever you determine to be out of hand. And that could be different for different people, right? 21-0 cannot be out of hand for one coach. That could mean the game's over for another coach. 14-3 could be out of hand. Yeah. So I just think if you're going to play those guys, which I personally wouldn't do, just from the standpoint of trying to get to the playoffs, at least have a solidified time. If you're going to play them, maybe the first quarter, maybe the first half, whatever. But I would, and I don't. Again, I say this all the time as well. I don't wish injury on anybody, but I wouldn't take the risk with those two very focal pieces to the offense, because Breida's a guy that can still run the ball for you. It's not like you're losing a lot from Breida in this game, because the Eagles don't have a great run defense. Like, it's okay, but it's not great.
And Tyrod is a servable backup.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of, like I said, I would like for them to play so they can get the reps in and get a little bit acclimated with the offense. Like I said, this is the first season under Daboll. But then again, I don't want to risk Saquon getting injured. I really don't want to risk Jones getting injured, because those have been our best two players on offense. Saying that's been our running attack right there, both of them.
Yeah, in a worthless game for y'all.
Yeah. So I don't mind him. But from what I took from last week's game, after last week's game, it seemed like Daboll was leaning towards starting them. But we'll see. Could have changed over the week.
Yeah, I did see something about that, which I thought was kind of crazy. Honestly, I was like, bro, that's wild. Even when he said it, I thought that was wild, just because of the standpoint of, like, look, we know what it is.
You got nothing to lose. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have anything to win by playing. So I'm the err on the side of caution in those situations. Now, if y'all were stumbling into the playoffs, you lost 2 or 3 games, and you just kind of wanted to get right, I feel like a different situation. Or if you're playing for, we're 6, but if we win, we could be 5. I get it. But I think a lot of times we get on guys, and this is the fans. We get on guys for playing the guys in these games. Then if they don't play them and they lose, we get on them for that too. So it's like you want them to not play the guys, protect them, but you still want to go out there and win games.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, backups are backups for a reason. If they had starting caliber talent, most often than not, they'd be starting
somewhere else.
Yeah, either somewhere else or over whoever's starting in their position on the team.
Yep.
So I'm concerned just because it's a football game. I don't ever walk out into a football game, even if I knew for sure right now 100% you were not playing Saquon or Daniel Jones, I'd still be concerned, because we've allowed ourselves to get in a position where we need to win our last game of the season.
There's been games this year that you guys should have won. They shouldn't have lost to the Colts.
We beat the Colts.
Oh wait, who was it that y'all lost to?
The Commanders.
Oh yeah, y'all shouldn't have lost that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we shouldn't have.
Almost lost to the Colts. Yeah, almost lost to the Colts.
We probably should have lost to the Colts based on how we played most of that game. But QB1 came through for us.
Yeah, he did.
And that's the thing. When he's out there, there's always that possibility he'll make that one play for you in a tight game. When he's not out there, there's no one to make that play, because they don't want to run the ball when he's not there, which I don't understand. But that's what's happened. We don't have the greatest run defense. We're not running the ball when Jalen Hurts is not there, which I think is opposite to what every coach Little League up would tell you. Like, every coach would say, if you don't have your starter, you run the ball. That's how the Cowboys were able to win games with Cooper Rush during the season. They didn't go out there and ask their men to throw the ball 30-plus times a game.
No,
they used their running game.
Yeah.
We got infatuated with the fact that he had a decent game through the air against Dallas, whose secondary isn't the greatest.
No.
And we let that cloud the decision-making against the Saints. I think that was a game you wanted to go out and win, but we decided we didn't want to win that game. Again, we're putting ourselves in a position where we need to beat a division rival that we did embarrass last time. And, you don't know how much motivation that gives whoever does play and the coaching staff to try to go out there and win that game, So.
Listen, it's going to be an exciting weekend. Kansas City already pulled off the first win. Yeah, they officially the number 1 seed. Yeah, they're officially number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. So the road through the AFC is going through Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Now tomorrow we find out, where does the road through of the NFC goes through. Does it go through Philly, or does it go to Santa Clara,
or does it go through Arlington?
Fuck Arlington.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry,
scenario.
Hey,
there's 3 different scenarios, or
we're not going to talk about the last
variations
scenario.
of
We
it.
don't care about the last scenario. We care less about the last scenario.
Come on, Wise. We got to at least
we
talk
could care
about
less.
scenario.
Listen, we could care less about the last scenario. Don't nobody listen. That's all we need is for them to win a division, right? We won't hear the end of it. Oh,
Well,
we came back. We won the division. Look at
Well-
that. Eagles undefeated.
Well, I mean, I'm saying you say that, but y'all are the ones who would make it happen for them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would be the ones, because if y'all beating us,
We the one who's got them into the playoffs. We the one who got them in by beating
you
Washington.
do. You're right, and you could give them the number 1 seed, possibly.
Or
that's the thing.
Or Washington can just make it up and just win.
Yeah, you'd be the ones to the number 1 seed.
That's not happening.
We can quickly touch on the Washington game. I say that Sam Howell starting. He hasn't started this year at all, so we don't really know. There's no tape on him. This is one of those times where sometimes a kid will go out. You don't know what he does. You don't know how he plays. You don't know how he processes, how he reads, because you have no tape on him, and he has a great game against you. So
that's all we can ask for.
Yeah, if that happens, that would be great. I think we would both agree Dallas losing, no matter what happens in our game, is always a positive.
It would be the best. Yes, it would be the best for everyone.
It would be the best for everyone. Also,
Except
the Arizona Cardinals,
except for Ben, it just wouldn't do good for Ben.
Ben would be fine.
Yeah, it'll be all right though.
Yeah, Ben would be all right. And then when you talk about like the 49ers, the other team that has an opportunity to get that number 1 seed, if they win and we lose, Arizona could just go out and beat them, right? Because Arizona has nothing to play for. Arizona, this is their Super Bowl. They're not going to the playoffs. They're a horrible team. Their coach might be leaving. Their quarterback stays hurt. I mean, this could be this is like a Super Bowl for them. This is the ability to play spoiler and say, we're going to make sure our division rival does not get the number 1 seed, because we're going to go out there and we're going to drag them.
Washington has a better shot at beating
I agree.
Dallas than
I agree.
That Arizona has at beating the 49ers.
I agree, but I'm just saying, any given Sunday.
We could always, yeah, it's true. Any given Sunday.
I mean, Washington beat us and the Saints beat us. The Cowboys beat our backup, but they still beat us. So any given Sunday, anybody can win the game.
Yeah, you're right.
This would be a great any given Sunday. Sunday.
It would. It would, but hey, listen, if the Giants start their starters, I won't bitch. I'm not gonna be upset about it. If they don't, I still won't be upset. Like I said, we have nothing to play for. We're already locked into the 6. Only thing we're playing for is pride right now. Like, do we want to redeem that ass whipping we took? For me, I see. Yeah, I remember the revenge tour of 06 when we lost to the Patriots, lost to the Packers, lost to all these teams, and then when the playoffs came, we came and took them out.
Yes, you did.
So I'm hoping for a repeat.
History could repeat itself.
It could.
I just feel like my starting quarterback is 13-1. He didn't play the last 2 weeks, but he's back. So I feel like he wants to be 14-1 as a starter, right? He wants to at least make the best case that he can for the MVP. Honestly, I think the last 2 weeks made the best case for him for MVP than any game he's played all season.
It showed that he's valuable to the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. Yeah, it showed that he was the MVP for the Eagles. Yeah, that's for sure. That showed that offense needs him in the game.
The best team in the league without their quarterback did not look like the best team in the league. I don't think he'll win MVP. So let me clarify that. I don't think he'll win MVP.
And because we all know it's a stat-based game, and we all know who's killing it right now.
But see, what's interesting is this is true. But if you look at the 2 MVPs that Aaron Rodgers won, he wasn't leading the league in passing yards or touchdowns in either of those seasons.
Yeah, but he's Aaron Rodgers.
He is Aaron Rodgers. But you've got a guy that came from obscurity to being an MVP candidate. the feel good
What
story
was it?
of the
Was
season.
Jalen? Did Jalen Hurts really come from obscurity though? He had a
Did you see
great
him?
college career.
Did you see him last year?
He had a great college career though.
I'm just asking. Did you see him last
Hey,
year?
listen, the, he was a rookie. He just progressed, didn't he? Wasn't he a rookie or two? This is his third year, right?
This is his third year. So I mean, that was his first.
Real
I
first
treated
season.
I treated like a
Like a
first
rookie
season in my
season.
mind because, like
Yeah.
you said, he only played like a couple of games once we were done last year. The year before that, anyway. But
Yeah.
I just say, like, I think when I say obscurity, I mean like no one expected him. I didn't even expect him to be as good as he's been this year, right? Not saying that he was nothing last year, but he's a lot better. He's reading defense a lot better. He's throwing better. He has a better motion. He's
put
more
in the work.
precise. Yeah, he put in the work.
He put in the work. You can tell he put in the work.
And he did a little more than put in the work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying he cheated or did anything illegal because I don't believe that. But I mean, he did more than just put in the work. Like, he really committed himself in a way I haven't seen a lot of guys do to being that much better than the year before.
Okay, so that's how you separate yourself from everyone else.
Absolutely.
I'm saying that's where the great ones really do separate themselves. I'm saying, so to me, it just makes sense that that he would progress because again last year he didn't blow our socks off, but in the offseason he did what he had to do, improved on what he needed to improve on, and look at him. He's been one of the top candidates for MVP all year until he got hurt.
Yeah, and I think that's the best part of the story, the fact that, you come from where we were last year to being a candidate. Like I said, I never expected him to win, but just being a candidate was enough for me, because it shows that you're acknowledging how much improvement there has been in his game, how much better he's played, how he's lifted his team. You also, have to mention you brought in A.J. Brown, who changed the entire dynamic of the receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
He's
now
bona fide number one.
Because you got two number ones now. Because you can't double team Smith and you can't double team Brown. So and then with Goddard, you have the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you don't have the weapons. Philly has the weapons. It was up to him to really take his game to the next level.
Ben, what's up, man?
What's going on, B?
Yeah, you're right. And I think what impresses me the most about the Giants, right, is how
no one expected this, man. Right. No one expected this.
How well Daniel Jones has played, how he's been so good with turnovers, right?
That's been key.
Yeah.
He hasn't blown them away with touchdowns. He's got 15 touchdown passes. He's 19th in the league. But he's got 5 interceptions. That's good for number 2 in the league. As far as
I think Hurts has 5 now too, because he had a tough week a couple of weeks ago.
So he's earned a lot of my respect this year. He's really, because I've been refusing to call him Danny Dimes, and I still do.
Okay.
But he's stepped his game up, man. He's not turning the ball over, which he was doing the previous few regimes, was turning the ball over. But I don't think they was playing to his capabilities. They just didn't know how to use them. Brian Daboll had someone similar. I'm not saying Danny Jones is Josh Allen, but he knew the system that he had fit what Daniel Jones could do.
Yeah.
Because no one. I'm sure everybody's shocked at him having over 700 rushing yards for the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's played well enough. Obviously, Saquon staying healthy. We've seen what we expected to see from Saquon Barkley, and I mean, that's all you could really expect. It's been great to see, because you want great players in the division. You want great players in the league. You want to be able to see that talent, But we would be remiss if we left this show and we did not mention how one team has let us down this year, and that is the Washington Commanders. You are on the precipice of the playoffs.
So Washington, if you're
you went out and laid an egg against the Browns with that horrible mascot being unveiled.
Washington, you can make up for it this week. You Washington Commanders, you can make it up for the division this week.
You owe us, Commanders.
Yes, you definitely y'all need to win this week. And we won't, and then this game will be mute. Because
the Eagles are in the playoffs.
Yes.
Cowboys are in the playoffs. The Giants are in the playoffs. All y'all had to do was win these last two games. That's all y'all needed to do for us. But y'all went out there and started Carson McConney. And when you did that, and everyone who has ever watched any show I've been on knows how I feel about Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Once you did that, you basically said, we're not worried about winning. Then Ron Rivera out there talking about we can't make the playoffs now. Bruh, what you been smoking on? How you didn't know that losing will eliminate yourself in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You should be better than that. So it's a lot going on there, man. I know a lot of Commanders fans that I've talked to. They all feel like that there's new ownership already in place. They're just waiting for the season to get over in the playoffs and the Super Bowl and everything to announce it.
Okay.
So Ron Rivera is probably going to be out if that's the case anyway, because new ownership, you want to go ahead and get your own guys in there. Commanders, I think we ruined a great opportunity, y'all. No, not we. Y'all ruined a great opportunity because it's hard to get all four teams.
We could have done it, though. We could have done it.
Could have done it. All they had to do was beat the Browns and then come out here and beat this Arlington football team this week.
Could have been
had to do.
But yeah, man, I'm excited. This is a good weekend.
It is, man. There's a lot of other, good games on this Titans Jazz game.
This is called the NFC Beast. It's not called NFL Weekly.
But we getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, but we got three teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, but if one of us get there, which we are, we're going to play one of these teams in the AFC. So I'm just saying it's a lot of good games. It's a lot of good football on. But make sure tomorrow at 4:25, watch whoever you want at 1 o'clock. Whatever you want to do there. Yes. But at 4:25.
Make sure you turn it to America's Game of the Week.
Yes. And if they try to play us and put that other game on as America's Game of the Week, y'all know how to find us.
Which other game?
That Commanders Cowboys game.
Shit.
You never know about Fox because you know how they like.
Yeah, I know.
They love us. You know what I'm saying? You have to watch them because they love that team. But I'm just saying, if you can't find it on as the game of the week, I know how to find the game. Make sure you watch it. It's going to be a good game. The best thing about it is we're playing at the same time as the Commanders and Cowboys and the 49ers. So a lot of
people are going to be they're going to be scoreboard watching.
Mm-hmm. I just say forget the scoreboards. Just go out and try to do our thing. Mm-hmm. I know y'all probably feel the same way. That's why y'all play.
But it's been good, man. We did good. We came on and repped our teams. Big shout out to Ben. Big shout out to Sam. We wish you guys were here. Coach, everybody who's been a part of the season, Martin. Yep. Who else has been on? We've had quite a few people come on the show.
But don't forget, playoffs next week. We got some teams in the playoffs, so guess what? We're going to be talking next week, too.
Maybe you could bring some representatives from the other teams from the playoffs to come and chat on NFC Beast. We'll see.
Oh, no, we don't do all that now. We might miss them. We don't want to do all that. We'll give them a shout out. But,
all right. We'll do that. We'll give them a shout out then.
Yeah, we'll give them a little shout out. We might take 2 seconds, a minute in total, talk about the other games or something like that. A few minutes. But, yeah. This is still, like you said before, this is still the Beast.
Yes, this is the NFC Beast.
We might give a slight nod to the other teams, but we can't give them too much love because they ain't part of the Beast. Great year to start this show too, man. We are the Beast this year, so that was great. It kind of worked out. This won't be the only season Did
Oh
you
no,
see
no.
this show?
Next season we'll be a little bit more organized. This is our first season together. We kind of put this together quickly. We didn't really get to really sit down and really hammer details out. But next year we're definitely we're gonna be repping more. We're definitely gonna be repping more, and you're gonna definitely see NFC Beast. Who knows? We might have we could have a Super Bowl special, and then a draft special.
Hey, we might have a Super Bowl special this year. You don't know what I'm saying?
I guess as long as the NFC Beast team is in the Super
Exactly.
Bowl, yeah. Well, let's correct that. As long as it's one of our two teams in the Super Bowl.
You trying to say you're so up if it's the Cowboys?
Yeah, no.
But
That's
no,
all. That's all we need, man. Like,
yeah, that would be
that's
that would be love and a half for sure.
yeah.
That would be very dope. But ladies and gentlemen, more things we can talk about. But guess what? It's 9:45. We've pretty much covered what we need to cover.
Yeah.
Shout out to, like you said, everybody's watching. Shout out to all the shows: Eagles Elite, Play Caller Sports Talk Show, Stuck in My Mind, all the things on the BS3 network. We need to try to name those shows. We don't have time
There's
for
a
that.
lot of shows. There's a lot of shows. No, we got
Shady
definitely
Sports, Couch Coach, Livewire Sports. You know what I'm saying?
Check them out. Check everybody's out. Check everybody's page out. Just support, man. Just if you love the NFC Beast, support everybody who's been contributing to the show. Everybody's been wonderful, and we're just excited, man. This is gonna be fun next year.
It only gets bigger and better. That's for sure.
Definitely.
All right, Wise. So I've said what I need to say. Any last thoughts from you, sir, before we go ahead and call it an evening?
Oh no, I'm done. I gotta get ready for bed. I gotta work in the morning.
Fair enough.
Work in a few hours, actually.
I hear that, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the end of the show for the night. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate the love. If you see the replay, got some good info here. You're going to want to pay attention.
Definitely.
With that being said, it's time to end this bad boy. Holla at your boy.
Peace.